Oh,
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning.
good morning, mate.
22nd of
Good
February,
morning, Rabbi Furst.
Rabbi Furst, Pierke,
Good
Avos,
morning.
Esther.
Fine. Thank you, Lou. As Lou mentioned, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. Yeshiva Samanachni here in Shlem Care of Zoom. Our first here this morning, we're learning currently Megillas Esther. We're in the first parak. I believe we left off and uh, uh, Pasuk Tet. We're getting involved with Vashti, right? One of the main
Not.
characters. Yeah, want to avoid that. That's very good, Roy. We want to avoid that. Very good. Okay, let's read the pasuk. We'll review the pasuk again, and let's continue on. Uh, Actually, pasuk Yud. Actually, I think if I'm more correctly with pasuk Yud, Yom Shvi.
Where I thought we
Yeah,
were.
yeah, very good. Who would like to read? Any volunteers?
I do. Um, let's see.
Fine.
Yom Hashvi'i Kitov Lev Hamelech Beyayin Amar Lim Human Bischa Karvona Big Sa Vagsa Zay Sar Vichar Kas Shiv As Hasarisim Hamisharsim Es Pnei Hamelech Achashverosh. On the seventh day, when the king's heart was merry with wine, he gave orders to Mehuman, Bezetha, Charbona, Bigtha, Abaktha, Zethar, and Karkas, the seven ministers who served in the presence of King Achashverosh.
Right. So now, just thinking about the pasuk a little bit. What do we need to mention all these people for? I mean, what's that relevant to our Indian over here, right? Uh, to,
Well,
Right.
Memuchan is Haman.
What?
Memuchan is Haman.
right,
So that's why we want to mention him. We want to see that he's he's there in the very beginning.
right.
The others, I don't know.
Who's Shabana is someone else too, isn't he? Shabana?
I believe they're yeah. I believe they're. Oh, that's right. It should all be separate individuals. Definitely so. Yeah,
No.
definitely so.
Yeah. Uh, hmm. So yeah.
I mean, do we care
So.
for seven of them?
That why it should be specifically seven. It's another question. Uh,
He probably has seven as a matter of course. Maybe there are seven chamberlains or whatever they're called.
well, I mean, is there a special reason why it should be? Why it should specifically um, be seven? Um,
Because it's emphasizing it, right? We could have counted them ourselves.
right. Now this Carvona is this Carvona the same one that's spoken about at the end of the Megillah as well? There that he was the one that hey, look, Haman's got a big ape there waiting for Mordecai over there.
I
Is
would
that the same? Right. That's our Chavona. You know,
Nothing in my English about him.
Yeah, Carbona, Ministrissime. Carbona, right? So actually, if you look in Perek Zion, look in Perek Zion, Pasuk Tes.
Again. Zion, Pasuk Tes. What? That's Yom Habanon. Savarai, is that right? Oh, they show it.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
Abona,
called-
it spells it the same way.
So Harbona turned,
One of the king's ministers, and it calls him here a minister.
yeah,
Right.
he drew the king's attention to the gallows.
Yeah, he was the one who sent he put the final verdict on for Haman.
Mm.
Hasarasim are the ministers, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, well, it's Chamberlain. Yeah.
Excuse me, Roy?
It's all right. No, I'm just talking to myself. Uh,
So I would say he's this one and the same, okay? Because he was one of the Sarasim over here in our pasuk now in Perek Aleph, and in Perek Tes, he also in Perek Zion there's also one of the Sarasim.
Right.
um,
Okay.
something, I've got a little bit here about the Chamberlains.
Yes.
Oh,
Tell me more.
my
Yeah,
English.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is right. In any case, what it says, he was in good spirits. The king was merry in good spirits, and it's hard to tell he was actually drunk, partly due to the rather formal tone of the description here. In any case, Aspherius said to, thank you, said to Markuman, Vizeta, Honor, Victor, or all the others. The seven special chamberlains, Sorisim, who attended to King Aspherius and who were closest to him. Closest to him. The word Sorisim can also mean eunuchs, and it can be assumed that these were the actual eunuchs, as their job required them to pass between the men and the women in the raucous atmosphere of debauchery at the party. The king bragged about his power and wealth, wisdom and success. He also boasted of his beautiful wife. It's 8. What's right? Okay. So,
So, well, if they were
nothing
eunuchs,
much more, but still.
I mean, if they were eunuchs, to say that Haman was included in them because Haman had a wife and sons, we know that, right?
Mm.
So how we get?
This is what's it? It's the Steinletz Megillah Esther.
Right,
Steinsaltz.
right.
I have a comment that clarifies. It says Carbona had been close to the events from the beginning. He was one of the king's advisors who suggested the search for the new queen.
I've got also here another note about chamberlains. while not all the chamberlains would have been eunuchs, right? Eunuchs did hold position of authority in the royal court of Assyria and Babylon, as well as in the Persian court, and were always used in positions which involved the women of the royal court and the royal harem. In Persia, such officials could achieve the status of senior advisors to the king or be awarded other governmental posts, including that of generals who commanded military campaigns. Wow. The Persian kings relied on eunuchs for the most sensitive roles, such as the king's personal bodyguard or his cupbearer.
Okay, very good.
So not all of them were.
Excuse me?
Not all of them were eunuchs.
That's right. So if Haman was Mumahun, then right. Okay, very good. Let's go further then. Okay, so let's pick up uh, in on your document on the page number 2 where it's Siman Yud. We're in the middle of Siman Yud. We'll start, if you don't mind, the second line, the third line, Amarabba Vahu, Kashiyisra Okling Bashos. You see it there?
The third line, what did you say? Sorry. Aleph Resh.
Aleph Resh, Amarabba Vahu. Kashiyisra Okling Bashosim Medivri Torah. Who Shorim Bashos Lefei Kadosh Baruch Hu. When Klal Yisrael, when the Jews eat and drink, they speak Divrei Torah, and they give songs and praises to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. How do you like that? That's what we do, right?
Right?
Shabbos, right? We sing and we drink and we eat and we say Divrei Torah and we say songs, sing songs to praise the Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? Okay, but okay, but what about the Goyim? What do they do when they eat and drink? Oh,
I'm sorry, could I just ask a question? I think it's a grammatical one. I'm not too sure. I've got on the third word, kashi, kashisrael, is it?
right.
What-
Kish Yisrael, right.
Okay.
I'm a Rav about Kish Yisrael Ochlim when the Jews eat and drink.
There's kof and shin.
Kaf Kaf is when, and Shin that the Jews that when. Shin Chaf is that when.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No? Okay.
I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Okay, if we come
So we've
across
got-
it again, I'll try and point it out.
Yeah, we've got two prefixes then.
Yeah, that is common. There are times when you'll see that there are two prefixes in Hebrew words. That you'll find. If I find other examples, I'll point it out to you.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, let's continue on. I will almost oilam ochlim b'shosim, right? So when the non-Jews start eating and drinking, matchilim b'arayis, they start getting involved with illicit relations, with divrei tiflos and lewd, lascivious talk, right? So what happened? What happened at this party of Achashverosh? Halo oimim Medina Midyanis noise. These were saying that the women from Midian, they are beautiful women. Halo mim Parsois noise, and these were saying the Persian women, they are nice looking women. I'll say so. Amalehem Achashverosh. Want to take over, Lou? Amalehem Achashverosh.
Why שאני משתמש בו לא מדי ולא parse. The vessel that I use is not from Media or Persia. Ella Kishad Ya. But she's from Kashadia. Ve'ain Yotze Ba Ba'olam. And there's none comparable to her in the world. Mevakshin Osam L'Rosa. They requested to see her. Excuse me, I have a call. Never mind. They requested to see her. They said to him, but she has to be naked. Miyad Amar the Mehuman, etc. Immediately, he said to Mamuchan, etc., go fetch Vashti and tell her to come. Afal P. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. That's good.
Even though Shehain Zion Hasarisim Ha Misratim Es Pnei Hamelech HaKashverosh. Even though they were the 7 ministers, I don't know this next word, Hamashar Sim.
They would serve in front of the king Achashverosh. Alpha Pi Shehain Zayin Asrisim Amisharsim Es Pnei Hamelech HaKadosh. Even though these were the 7 ministers that would minister in front of the king Achashverosh.
Oh, that would minister. Verb. Okay. Va'al Shem Hamaseh Nikra Shamam.
Oh, shame Hamaisa, even though these were the 7 ministers who would minister in front of the king Ahasuerus, they were called Al Shem in this pasuk, Al Shem Hamaisa Nikra Shamam. Because of this incident, their names were called because of this incident. So okay, well, I think we're going to leave the rest of the medrash here. It basically goes through the names and explains how their names related in some way to what was occurring here at the time of the Sudas Achashverosh. But that's I think that that'll be a little bit technically difficult for us. I'd like to leave that for now. And let's go to the next pasuk, I think. Okay, pasuk Yud Aleph.
Back to Megillah.
Yeah, back to the beginning.
Lahavi Es Vashti Hamalka Livnei Hamelech Biketer Malchus the Har Os Hayanim Sarim Es Yaf Ya Ki Tovas Mar'eh He. To bring Vasi, the queen, before the king, wearing the royal crown, to show the people and the ministers. Her beauty, because she was good in appearance. She was good looking.
That's what he was saying, right? That's what Ahasuerus said he had. So now he's got to prove his point, right?
Right.
As they say, he put his foot in his mouth. No, Roy.
Like a baby.
Okay, so let's take a look at our document over here. Pasuk Yud Aleph. You see, Avias Vashti Amalka Bekeser Malchus. They brought her wearing the. She was intended to be brought wearing the crown. After all, she was a queen, right?
Mhm.
Shelo yiyeh aliyah ella hakasar bilvad, that she should not go up except what is kasar?
So
Keter.
the crown.
Yeah.
Except with the crown alone.
Right, that the only thing she's supposed to be wearing is the crown.
Kashem she bak shava lavo aruma, meaning that they requested that she come naked. Lahar os ha amim the hasarim es yafa, to show the people that she was beautiful.
That's right. I mean, and that's the reason why she couldn't wear any clothes, because sometimes if you'll dress up a ugly woman in nice clothes, she'll look beautiful. All right.
Right.
So they didn't want to know, they didn't want any deceptions. They didn't want to be distracted from the clothes. They wanted to see the real thing.
But on the other hand, many women look much better with the proper clothing than they do when they're naked.
Oh, so that's the reason exactly. Ahasuerus wanted to prove that she was beautiful with or without clothes.
Right.
Right? In essence, she was beautiful. That's what he was boasting about, and now he's going to have to prove it.
Okay. Hagid ha kasuv she haisa tovas mar'eh. And the scripture explains that she was very beautiful. Aval lo hagia yofei shala shalo lechetzi yofei shel saray v'ravka.
Sarah Rivka, right?
Oh,
Right?
Sarah Rivka.
Right. So Hagida Kasashad Torah's Mara. The pasuk is telling us Tovas Mara. She was of a beautiful form, right? Avalo Agia Yafia Shala Lechetzi Yafia Shel Sarah Rivka. Her beauty didn't even reach half of the beauty of Sarah and of Rivka. Why?
Shenetmar Bahem Tovas Mar'eh Ma'od. It says about them that they were beautiful of form very much.
Very much, right? So Vashti was only, right, only Tovis Mara, but Sarah and Rivka Lahavdil, Tovis Mara Ma'oid, very much, right? Very much. So she had no chance against Sarah and Rivka, right?
I don't understand, why are we comparing her to Sarah and Rivka?
That you should know that the Torah, when it speaks about Sarah and Rivka, it goes out of its way to say that they were ma'od. They were very much beautiful in form, right? But that doesn't apply. That doesn't apply to Vashti. She wasn't on that caliber, on that level.
But but we shouldn't be bragging about their beauty. Their beauty is
No,
relevant. The important thing is their mitos.
Midas are very important. That's true. But the true value that a woman has for her husband is her physical beauty, because that's going to bring forth children, right? The fact that a woman's finds favor in her husband's eyes and is attractive to her husband, that's going to bring forth Jewish babies. That's what a Kadosh Baruch Hu wants.
But isn't a proper quality man going to be impressed only by the mitos and not by the physical beauty? Don't we learn that Abraham didn't even know Sarah was beautiful until later?
That's right. That's right.
So
But
it's,
nevertheless, the physical beauty, right, is extremely important. That's what's going to bring babies into the world. Women can have a lot of very nice midas, but that's not going to always help to bring babies into the world. And that's the real reason why you have a husband and a wife. You have a family, that the Kadosh Baruch Hu wants that there should be more. Purity is the first and most foremost mitzvah. Right? That was the first mitzvah that we commanded. Even non-Jews have a mitzvah of purivia, right? Or maybe not purivia, maybe Shemitz Yitzro would be a little bit different, but they still have a mitzvah to procreate. That's vital. Without that mitzvah, there'd be no civilization. There'd be no humanity. Everything would stop, right? Yeah, that would stop. Uh, okay. I think let's go further into the next pasuk then, I think.
okay, pasuk 12. Vata ma'ain hamalka Vashti lavo bidvar hamelech asher biyad hasarisim v'yik tsof hamelech ma'od v'chamaso ba'ara bo. Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's bidding through his ministers. The king became furious and his anger seethed inside.
Okay. Let's take a look at the document over here. Yud base.
Vate Main Hamalka Vashti. She refused. V'halo Perutza Haisa. Is it not that she Perutza is that she was she had rashes?
No, Prut says she was immodest. She was an immodest woman.
Oh, immodest. Isn't it true that she was immodest and therefore she should have gone?
Yeah, I mean, the question is, I mean, she should have had no problem. This, I mean, after all, she's having her own party, right? Her own party's going on, right? And as it said, what did it say? Right, that Vashti also in Pasuk Tess, right? She also made a Mishte Nashim. So I mean, wasn't she a little lonely? And I mean, first of all, you have to wonder if all the women were just there by herself, or their men were there also. I don't know. But anyways, she wasn't. Don't think she was getting a little lonely over there in the Mishnah in a party with all the women. You know, are they playing bridge over there or something like that?
Hmm.
ומפני מה
It's it was 7 days. 7 days playing bridge is pretty boring. No, Mayor, that would be pretty boring for a woman.
That's
No.
right. Not here.
So now the king is calling her, and no, now we can get the party started. No.
Hmm.
So the question is, why didn't she come? Right? She should have been, time to really get the party started.
so why didn't she come?
Oh, that's the question. That's the question, right? What prevented it? What prevented her from coming? Something meaning we're assuming that something prevent on her own. We were assuming on her own she would have been happy and very willing to come. So something must have prevented her to come.
Hashem.
Well, definitely a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Yeah, this is the work of a Kadosh Baruch Hu, right? This is probably, maybe this might be the first of the many miracles that's taking place here. I mean, in terms of the if you look at the actual um, depth of the miracles that are taking place, this might be one of the very first. I'm not sure. We can try and do an analysis in the previous 11 psukim that were there any things that were miraculous taking place, or even in the realm of semi-miraculous things taking place in the previous 11 psukim? I don't think so.
Amar Rav Yosef, the Rav Chanina, Melamed, Shet, Harcha, Ale, Taras, Rabbi Yosef, the son of Rabbi Chanina, says that it teaches us that she got Taras. Bima Nisa Tana Ba Gabriel Vasa Lo Zanav. And the angel Gabriel gave her a tail.
Oh.
I guess that's a
Oh.
miracle.
Right. Okay, so that's a pretty open miracle, and okay, she came out with Saras, so okay, she had a strong case of acne that day, so I don't know. She could have used makeup. Maybe she could. I guess she couldn't use makeup either. She could, when it said she could only come with the crown. I guess she couldn't put on makeup either. I guess no. What do you think, Roy? She couldn't
I
put
don't
on
know.
makeup on. What that?
I don't know, but didn't she grow a tail as well?
Yeah, that's what it says. Gabriel came and put her tail on her. She had to gave her a tail.
And also she had the sores.
Right. That's right. She apparently whether she apparently maybe she had both. Right.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Uh, so so here we see a little bit of divine intervention here now, right? Now at this point, this is the juncture, right? This is the beginning of the divine intervention in the history of Klal Yisrael to get us finally out of Gullus, right?
Right.
Uh, okay. So so now when they were told to bring Vashti, right? When they were told to bring Vashti, uh, so they probably went to where she was at the party. No, she was throwing her own party, correct?
Right.
So I mean, apparently she was already in a public place at that time. If I'm just trying to picture the situation a little bit. I would imagine she's in a public place already, right?
Right. I'm imagining that she intended to go and she went to her chamber to take off her clothes. And when and at that time, the miracle happened. And when she took off her clothes, she said she saw that she had Saras and a tail.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, more or less something like that, right? Uh, probably probably a very strange feeling to all of a sudden have a tail start growing, no?
I would think that would be pretty strange, yeah.
Okay. Um,
What you wonder what she was thinking. I mean, obviously it's a miracle, and she knows the story of Belshazzar. I wonder why she didn't realize that that's what was going on.
um, yeah, I mean that's a point. We don't have too much insight into what we really don't have too much insight into Vashti at all. She's kind of just like she's on stage for this one scene and then she's out of the whole picture, right?
Right.
Uh, okay. Um,
We don't really need her. We just she's just setting the scene for Esther.
yeah,
She's
that's exactly right. We saw that we saw that in the unfortunately that really the question was what do we need Vashti here for? So the answer was given, as you said correctly. This is the prelude to understanding how Esther became queen, right?
Hmm.
Let's see. I just want to see here, for example, you know, let's take a look. If you go to the fourth page in your document, you see where it says there that's the basically the third the third paragraph. Tamein Hamalka Vashti Lavoy B'dvar Hamelach.
V'tamein Hamalka Vashti Lavo V'davar Hamelech Kulei. I don't know what tamein is.
Tamein is she refrained, she refused. Right.
Queen Vashti refused to come by the word of the king, etc.
Right. So now drop down to the fourth line, about 6, 7 words into the fourth line. V'zeh shekasav, v'zeh shin, v'zeh shekasav v'tamein hamalchus. Let's start over there. Where you see a cursor.
Kasuv v'tamein hamalka Vashti lavo b'davar hamelech asher biyad ha-sarisim klomar da'al yedei hasarisim eno keovar al mitzvas hamelech shematzohu al peh. So it says in the scripture, Queen Vashti refused to come by the word of the king. That was through the agency of the ministers. That's to say, that through the ministers, it was not the proper covet for the commandment of the king. What is this word shemitz ohu? That he commanded mouth to mouth. Achashverosh petach behatzala dehu amar kedas, that he said it according to his understanding.
The das is the intention of the king, right? And so again, it says tamein hamalka Vashti lavoy b'davar hamelach, that she Vashti the queen refused the word of the king, asher biyad srisim, which was delivered by the srisim. Koloimer, that means al yedei srisim. Eina ka'oiver ala mitzvah hamelech shitzava peh el peh. That it's a difference that if a person's going to disregard the word of a king, if it was commanded directly by the king, or if it was commanded by the ministers of the king. So since here now was commanded by the minister of the king, it's a different level of rebellion than if it was actually a face-to-face command of the king.
So that was an opening for the success.
Well, that was Pesach Bahatzala. That could have been a way out for her. I mean, they could have maybe saved her.
Right. That
Since it wasn't a direct affront to the king, it was only an affront to the messengers of the king. So that could have been a way to save her.
Right. That he said, according to the desire, the will of the king, what to do with the queen, with Queen Vashti. Concerning that, she didn't do what was said by King Achashverosh immediately. I'm sorry, not immediately. That through the ministers.
Right, that's gonna be, we'll see that, that's gonna be right, that, if you take a look in, go back to your, Megillah for a moment, Pasuk Tezvav, this is what he's quoting here now.
Pasuk Tesvav. Tesvav is 15. Kedas ma la'asos b'malka Vashti al asher lo asa es ma'amar hamelech Achashverosh biyad hasirisim. According to the law, what must be done with Queen Vashti, who did not obey the king's order through his ministers?
Right, that's the point. The point is, even the Pasuk is pointing this out, that it wasn't that she actually made a direct affront to the command of the king that was given to her face to face. It was a refusal to listen to the command of the king that was delivered through the ministers, which is a lesser of a lesser crime. So it could have been that she might have been saved. They might have been able to find a way out for her.
Right.
But even in spite of the fact that they could, but they didn't, which is also could be an insight into the divine providence, into the Hashgacha Pratis, the Siyata Dishmaya, the miracles that are taking place here. That could have been also a a insight into the some of the miracles that were taking place here.
Did they like her? Or did
Did the ministers like her? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There might be some talk about that. I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm
Memucan
not sure.
clearly didn't like her.
Excuse me?
I said Memucan clearly didn't like her.
I mean, why do you say that?
Because he advised the king to kill her.
Right. So okay, when we get to that pasuk, we have to try and think about why. Why did he advise that? Right.
Right.
So I mean, that also is part of the miracles that are taking place here, because here you have Haman, who's advising that Vashti be killed, and then through the chain of events that led through the death, that started with the death of Vashti, Esther was brought into power, and that eventually led to his own death.
Right. But he thought Esther liked him.
Yeah, that she led him to believe that. Correct.
Getting very late.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. I forgot. Okay, so let's see. We are. Okay, maybe we'll pick up with the middle of this. When we continue tomorrow in Blinetta. Maybe this is the Chidah. Maybe we'll try and remind me to pick up with the end of base in the Chidah tomorrow, Blinetta.
Okay, and we're up to Pasuk 12.
Yes, yeah. Let's just mark that down so we shouldn't be
12.
confused. Very good.
Okay. And
Okay.
Good.
and on
Okay.
Thank you.
the sheet, we're in the middle of Yud Base.
Yes, thank you. Okay,
Thank
Roy,
you
have a
very
good
much.
afternoon. Hope to see you tomorrow.
Be well.
Okay,
Okay, Yeshikoach,
you
Lou.
also. Thank
Very
you. Thank you, Lou.
There. Thank you,
See you.
Rabbi.
Thank you. See you soon.
Translation.
See you soon.